Did you know hot air balloons are an epic form of travel based around the simple principle that hot air is lighter than cold air? They lift in the air based on the heat system in the balloon. Increasing the temperature of the air inside the balloon makes it lighter than the air outside the balloon and begins to float. More air is required to lift heavier things. That's why the balloons have to be so huge. How cool or hot is that? What's up guys, Rakowski here, and today we are finishing judging and rating all of the builds in Aurora Skies. Before we get started, please don't forget to like this video, and if you enjoy videos that show the beauty and fun of the older Sims games, especially The Sims 3, then please hit the subscribe button as well. All of your support has been really helping out the channel, so thank you so much. Also, keep an eye on my community tab where you can vote on which world you want to see next. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get into the video. You know what? Aurora Skies is stunning. I've just noticed that even where if you go past where the houses are, there's all these lakes, waterfalls, beauty. What is this? Like an old hot spring or volcano or something. Just little world details that you'd never go up and see with your Sims, but just having them in the world, it really shows that they put some attention into it. What's up guys? Welcome back to Aurora Skies. So we did the first half in the last episode and I was pleasantly surprised with what we've seen, to be honest. And even though we only did 11 houses, we did at least 1 or 2 from each style. There's kind of 3 styles. There's the urban downtown style, then there's the cottagey country style, and then there's a few that are in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, I'm really excited to jump in and get started. And fun fact, I just finished filming part 1 and I just want to film part 2 and kind of get through it because I was really excited and inspired by the first one. So I'll stop wasting your time. Let's just jump in and see what we get. See you there. So first up is Lakeview. And this was a pain in the butt to find because it's nowhere near the lake. Actually, it's near, oh my God, never mind. It's near this lake. Okay, you know what? I wasn't thinking, I was thinking more about the beach or whatever. So never mind, ignore my bitchy style. Let's just talk about the house. It's very small, very standard. It almost looks like a Sunset Valley starter, but not ugly, which is a really good thing. They really stuck with the balance of the windows. I really like that. And I noticed that across the street, it's this hot springs pool area. That's kind of a nice little community lot. I enjoy that, but we're not here for that. We're here for the house. I believe this to be a dark blue, but it could also be a black. I'm not 100% sure. It could just be my monitor or whatever. But either way, I kind of like the white roof. I think it goes really well with the window. Oh my God, I've been leaving it on play. They've been talking to people. Okay, I gotta just jump inside. Okay, very dark brown inside. I was not expecting that. I noticed there's a metallic texture on the TV, which is kind of nice and different. I haven't seen that too much. Usually it's plastic. I think it's dark without being too dark. And I like how they use this light wood as a lot of the furniture just to break it up. I actually don't hate these orangey red leather couches, even though it's not really my style at all. I don't know, the kitchen is pretty good and it's got a kitchen sink and a coffee machine and a smoke detector, all the things that we need, right? The bathtub is wooden. Okay, I know it's kind of a middle of nowhere house. Somebody let me know if wooden bathtubs are a thing, because that's not something that I've really seen before. I know sometimes I get comments well, why can't you just Google it? It's also because I don't want to Google absolutely everything and kind of walk in here pretending I know everything. And quite frankly, just because you see something on the internet does not mean it's accurate, right? So I would rather just have somebody say, you know what, I live in Iceland and I've seen this bathtub before, and then that way I get a first-hand account. But yeah, there isn't too much to say. It's very harmonious and I think everything goes really well together. The colors are kind of scattered throughout, none of them offend the eye, but I didn't really like any of the colors. I think these were the weakest color choices that I've seen. Well, not in Sunset Valley, in Aurora Skies, but you know what I mean. And the shell itself is just very basic and simple and kind of the least enthralling that we've seen so far, but it is a nice little house and it does kind of suit its purpose. I don't know, I'm gonna give it a 6. And it goes really well with the sky, and I'm using a lighting mod which is kind of based off of the movie Frozen, and it has its own Aurora Borealis and stuff, so I thought it'd be perfect for Aurora Skies. So just in case anyone's wondering, I'm gonna leave it linked down below for you. Next up is the Lowland Lakehouse, and we're back at it again with the little details. This is a slightly different red. They still offset it with all these white windows and trim, but the roof is a brown, and we haven't seen a brown roof on a red house so far as I could tell. Well, looks like it's not going to be the only one. I see another one back there, but again, they keep the symmetry. Everything looks nice. It's a little less boxy than some of the shells that we've seen. We do have a different size and the bump outs and whatnot, and I like how they have parking spaces ready to go and not necessarily garages. I didn't see American style garages when I was researching this style of house. They're usually hidden down an alley or off to the side of the house or like they go under. So that's actually kind of really nice. So let's jump inside and see what happens. Okay, well, what happens is the same detail is using like a reddish orange wall. That's very popular in this. Now the parquet flooring, I don't love the parquet, but the color isn't too bad. It's a little bit bright, a little bit warm and homey, but this house is really empty. Like one couch in front of this fireplace, one couch in front of this TV, a bookshelf and a coffee table. And that's all I've seen so far. I certainly haven't seen a shower. Oh my God, like another bathtub only. Okay, well, I guess that's fine. I don't hate this blue. It's almost like a very, very pale purple. Like it's just skewing on the edge of purple for me. So that's kind of nice. This dining room has nothing in it as usual. Oh, great. And a bathroom sink in the kitchen, my favorite. Okay, let's just jump upstairs and see what we get. Well, we certainly don't get a shower, but at least we get the same color of a bathroom. This bedroom is empty too. Why is this house so empty? Like usually the EA houses are a little bit more filled up. I do notice how they sectioned off like the chimney and like they put the dresser in here. I would have stuck the dresser in the slot and then put something else here. But then again, I guess they're trying to fill up the space. Oh, nice. And on the third floor, they have like a music room with guitars. So that's actually kind of in these guys' bios. So see, like one wants to be a hit movie composer, one wants to be a rock star. So that goes in with their story. And I think it's really nice that they added that detail. But other than that third floor, this was the first time like we saw like a real EA style house on the inside of one of these builds. And I, for one, was not impressed. I didn't like how empty it was. I didn't like the basics. I really only liked how they added the music room. And again, like the shell is on the prettier side, but you know what? Like in Aurora Skies, this house is just not going to cut it. I'm going to give it a 5. Everything they did well, they did really well. And then the things that they just kind of rushed through and threw together, you can really tell. So there you go. Next up is Luxurious Lodge. Okay, this is a very dark house and it's got like a very dark roof as well, but like just having like the white details makes it pop out a little bit. I think the landscaping is gorgeous and like I would be a little upset over the dark color, but if you notice, the 2 Sims who live here are ghosts. So it's kind of like death inspired, which is kind of nice and very much The Sims, if you know what I mean. I must comment on the roofing. So they've been using gabled roofs throughout this world. And in fact, they actually did a really good job because EA is not known for making beautiful gabled roofs on their houses. But yeah, not much else to say. So let's look inside this house of death. My first thought is Simsy floor plan. Like, you know what I mean? Like Simsy starter, like the 2 bedrooms, the 1.5 bathroom, the cramped in kitchen at the back. Like every single square foot of this house is used and not too much of it is clumped up. So they have like, well, I guess it's a little clumped, but it's not like too stuff that it's unusable and it makes great use of the space. And if there's only 2 Sims living here, then you can afford to smush some things together. I actually really do like the kitchen. I like how it's in through this like separate little archway and it's just like, but it's not completely closed off, if you know what I mean. The fridge and the stove are separate. That's kind of like a kitchen sink. Everything's nice. I really like the brown that they use. I don't like browns usually, so they're impressing me with that. Once again, no showers. Is no showers a thing in Iceland? I don't know. Like I saw a couple bathrooms and honestly, most were white and most had showers, so I don't know what else to say. This bathroom is almost baby poo. Like they're on the verge of it, right? Like they have to be really careful with stuff like that because we know how I'm gonna react. I mean, I know it's just like a small little house, but it's very cute. And I think they did a really good job with the floor plan. Like, of course they couldn't leave it super empty because it is such a small house, but it's weird because they see like some of the houses, like they have barely anything. And then in a house like this, they just use each and every corner to its fullest advantage. So I don't know what they're thinking before, but I like this one. I'm gonna give it an 8. I also noticed that the undertones of these darker colors do have that red. So that's why it kind of goes well with the red houses. Like see this door, like it doesn't look like it, but there's a little bit of red in there. So well done on the details. Next up is Lynnwood. I wonder if that's what Britney Spears' mother calls her house now that it's dilapidated like this. Anyway, let's just jump into the build. I really like the corrugated metal siding. I think that's a nice detail. It suits like a middle of nowhere shed like this. And this guy is like a poor starving artist. It says he's misunderstood and nobody knows his genius. Trust me, I know exactly how that feels. Still got some outdoor space. His easel is outside, which is kind of nice. And it's facing like, I guess the most beautiful part. I don't know. I kind of like the part without the dock. It's a little bit nicer. I would paint the buoy, but whatever. I think the world has enough like water landscapes with docks in the distance, if you know what I mean. But looking around, like the windows are kind of nice. Everything's nice and symmetrical. I see a couple smaller windows, so that's probably for the bathrooms or kitchens, I hope. So I guess we'll have to see. Let's jump inside. Oh, it is. It's for the hallway and it's for the bathroom. Well done. Okay, so let's just focus on this. I noticed that they wrap like this chimney around in a counter. That's kind of a nice way to deal with that because like how else are you gonna make like a pole sticking through your house kind of look pretty? I guess there's something in the basement we'll have to remember to go check out. I noticed that the corrugated siding is used on the inside as well, so I kind of like that. It's a little bit different, and like it just shows like more of like the realism of a house, like, or a shed like this. Now, another wooden bathtub. So somebody has to tell me if this is a thing, because I don't know how I feel about that. I just feel like it would get moldy and rot. Ugh, the kitchen is very EA with its green color and its bathroom sink. Okay, let's go downstairs because there's not an upstairs to this house, so let's just see. Oh, he has another easel and stuff, and he has like a little art area. Okay, so like they've been doing a really good job at incorporating like a skill building room for the Sims that actually live in the place. So that's been a really nice thing to see. However, I don't necessarily love a lot of the style choices inside. I feel like an artist would have put splashes of color on certain things. I was expecting something a little bit more bold, a little bit more bright, especially in the basement. But I do like the shell, I do like the concept, and I like how it's not like hideous, because sometimes when they do these like remote builds where there's like somebody like locked away and struggling, it's like they're usually kind of ugly and like dinky, and this has like a nice balance between rustic and stylish at least. So I don't know, I'm gonna give it a 7. If they changed the blue into like an ugly green, this would have easily shot down to a 3 or 4. So well done at keeping my rage at bay, EA. Next up is Moar House. I think that's how you say that, I'm not sure. So we have once again like on the darker side, but if we notice, there's actually no dead Sims here, which is really good because it's a father and his 3 kids. And in fact, each one of them apparently has a different mother, and like he fought for custody for all of them. So I think that's like a nice, interesting storyline, because you don't see that too much in popular culture in general, and I think it happens a lot more than people think. I just grew up with Judge Judy, so like I was always taught that fathers are not second-class parents, right? And from personal experience, sometimes the mother is not the best place for you to be. So let's just digest the fact that this shell looks very similar to the other shells. It's a little bit like stretched out a little bit, I guess, but they still kept some symmetry. I love the gazebo in the back, but there's not really much else at the back. Like there's no fire pit, there's no barbecue, so that's something that I would add. A really nice landscaping as usual. Okay, let's jump inside. Oh, thank God they used some color. Okay, so this is kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for use of color and have it not be horrendous. Now let's get the worst out of the way. This dining room, I did not see this table. I was gonna freak out, but it is kind of an ugly baby poo green, but at least they have like an end table with a plant like I've been praying for the last several episodes. Fridge and the stove are next to each other. Don't really like that, but I mean, it's not too bad. The kitchen is kind of nice. They have a country style kitchen, which most of the houses do. I would appreciate if they broke it up a little bit. People do renovate their kitchens, right? Like that is kind of like the one room that you kind of deal with first. This is a blue bathroom. This is a blue that we've seen a few times in this world, and like it might be characteristic to the style, but it's certainly not characteristic of me. Once again, I see no shower. My goodness. This is probably the father's room because there's nothing really exciting going on. Let's go upstairs. Okay, we got kids' rooms, even more color. Look at this. He even did 2 colors here. That's kind of bold. I never like doing something with wood paneling on a second story overlook like this. I would rather just do something plain that goes all the way up, or just kind of like cover it in windows or something to hide it. Once again, no shower, just a bathtub. I don't know. These bathrooms are kind of big too. They're not as big as the Monte Vista bathrooms, but I haven't commented on it because with Monte Vista, I got used to seeing 30 tile bathrooms. But I think the kids' rooms are pretty like normal and generic, right? Like nothing too characteristic. Like I don't really know who these Sims are by like the state of their rooms or anything, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because like a lot of like younger Sims, they don't really have too much of their personality yet. See, I thought Karen might like be artistic or musical or something, but she's not really. Like she wants to have golden tongue, golden figures, but her traits don't really reflect that, right? She's a computer nerd and she doesn't even have a computer in her room. Also, her name is Kara Helgensen, which just sounds perfect if I'm making like a rich bitch Sim. But that being said, like I'm really happy with the use of color, not really for the outside, I guess, but I mean, overall, I really did like how like they didn't clash too much and they still put lots of flavor into the house. I would much rather have something like this than that boring house that we had before. But the shell itself and the details are kind of uninspiring too. I don't know. I'm gonna give this one a 6. It just could use like a little spice for the outside, you know, like maybe some flowers or like a little bit more landscaping detail or just an activity outside, right? Just kind of like watch all the small things and then you can make something great. Next up is Natural Nest. And we are back to our blocky, colorful style, which I'm actually happy about. This has been like my favorite pleasant surprise so far. I really like this style now that I've investigated them. I'm addicted to the symmetry of the windows and like trying to see like what colors they tried to use. Now, I don't love this blue roof, but I think it goes really well with like the creamish siding. I think it's not too bad. I think it could have been a lot worse. It's got a really boxy back though. It looks like they just wanted like the first floor to be like a little bit bigger and they just stuck a half gabled roof on it, you know, but whatever. I guess I can forgive like 1 or 2 things. And they're kind of like rich bitch Sims, like politician and like businessman businessmen and whatever, and they're already at the top. They've got 100,000 simoleons in cash, and they have one swing outside, right? And it's like they don't even have a kid. Maybe that's what they want. I guess we'll have to see. But yeah, 4-story house for 2 people. I wonder how they used it. So let's see what happened. Okay, well, inside it's not too bad. They chose a really good wood, and they seem to be using the same wood throughout in most of the builds. So that is a big factor in whether or not I like the house. So good job on the wood color. I actually really like the center here with like the living room. I like the blue rug. I like the beige-ish color of the couches. That's kind of nice. They have a couple seating areas, and I don't see the ugly bookshelf that I hate. So that's kind of nice. A normal white bathroom for the most part. That's pretty good. The dining room, again, like why do they not like to put anything near the dining tables? Like I feel like that's like your chance to decorate, you know? Okay, the kitchen is fine, I guess. I don't know, a little bit uninspiring. Let's jump upstairs. Okay, so there's a little bit of funky style. I don't really know if it's for me, like baby poo with purple. That's not really my kind of combination. I noticed that every rich sim always has like a workout room, even if they don't work out, which might be realistic because like the people I know with the most workout equipment probably exercise the least. Going upstairs, we have our classic foosball table. It does look like they want a baby. Okay, so like maybe she's pregnant already. So I didn't actually investigate this, but I do know that lots of the Sims in Aurora Skies are pregnant because when I started my own like game and I built my own house, I was like 3 days in and then like everyone had infants. So that might be part of the storyline. I'm not sure. So if you are familiar with it, you can let me know in the comments down below and we can chat about that if you want. But yeah, once again, we're on our 3rd floor and I still see no shower. Oh, there's no showers at all in this house. I think I'm on the last bathroom. I do think the size is unnecessary. Like looking down, it's like this is just 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, which they don't need because there's already a bedroom and a bathroom down here and a baby room. Then down here you have like a whole separate living space and another bathroom. So it's another one of those situations where they could just cut off the top floor. Actually, they could probably cut off the first 2 floors and it would just be fine. I don't know. I've seen worse, and I kind of like the fact that like they want to have a baby and everything, but they didn't have to do a house like this. I know they're supposed to be like the rich Sims. They're supposed to have like a grand, like, you know, big giant house that everyone's like jealous of, but I'm not really that jealous of this one. I'm gonna give it a 6. I mean, I can understand selling your soul for your dream, but it's not my dream to have that job and to have this house. So I'm just gonna leave it to them if that's all right with everybody. Next up is Recycled Refuge. This is absolutely stunning. I love this. I love how they broke up the colors with like the blue and the white with just like a 1 tile bump out. Very nice subtle way to break it up. See, like you don't have to make a perfect box. You can always add like a little detail. The windows are still perfectly balanced. I love the white roof. I don't know if I love the windows on the side going all the way to the edge. I think they do that on both sides, but at least they do it like, you know, the same. So at least it's balanced. The back is all right too. I see lots of bright colors inside. I'm a little bit nervous actually, but the backyard is really pretty, like a little pool / hot tub area. I know it's like probably functions as a pool, but it's more of the size of a hot tub. And yeah, she has an outdoor space too. Her name is Fjord Warbler. So I don't know if she's supposed to be like Bjork or whatever. Oh my God, I'm peeking in the house. I didn't mean to do that. So let's just jump inside and see what we, oh my God, a yellow kitchen. Okay, so this is what I was afraid of, like from Aurora Skies. This is what I thought the entire world was gonna be like. So I'm just gonna forgive this bumblebee mess of a kitchen for a little bit, just because it is kind of nice with its stainless steel. Honestly, it's really just the floor, and I'm not against using it. It's just maybe not for the whole chunk of this first part, you know? See, look, they cramp a bar next to this dining table, so how come in the other houses they can't put a plant? This bathroom is actually kind of really pretty. I love it. I know it doesn't have a shower, but see how they keep like this red. This is not a red that I would ever use, and now I'm very intrigued by it. I think you're gonna be seeing a little bit more of the switch ups of some of my colors after seeing this stuff. But yeah, I love how it's platformed up there too. Okay, let's go upstairs. Ooh, it's kind of modern and lofty. That's kind of nice. If you put the walls up, you can see kind of over to the kitchen and dining. It's a little bit ugly with this wall. I'm not sure. Maybe I just would have taken out this whole part here and just made it open concept. Maybe put a column or something here. Okay, so we got a balcony here. I think this is going to be a spare bedroom. I guess we'll have to see. Little seating area. I love these colors. See, these are my kind of colors. That's my kind of blue and my kind of pink. So they're kind of mixing in colors that I'm familiar with things that I wouldn't normally use. My goodness, this bathroom is stunning and it has a shower. I'm so happy. Look at this. This is like, honestly, this is a color that I have not seen in a long time. It's very similar to my frame, but maybe this is due for a comeback. I'm gonna start trying some of these out. Okay, so the upstairs is kind of like a little too dark for the colors. I don't know how I feel about the black tile with the bright ones. I think it worked a lot better better with the wood. But for a green bathroom, I must say I still like the style, and I do like that it has the shower too, so whatever. And she wants to be rich and famous, so this is kind of like her celebrity floor, I guess, right? Like this is kind of tacky and gaudy and, you know, very much new money, which is, I guess, kind of what she's gonna be. Okay, so coming back outside, I think the shell is absolutely perfect. I don't love every color choice that they did, but they did go for it, and they kind of had a vision that I can start to see, and they were really trying to stick with it, and they didn't like compromise by making anything generic or like anything like lazy. Like they weren't like, okay, well, here's a normal bathroom to put in our crazy house. So I don't know, I'm feeling the vibe. I really like the shell, I really like the inside, and it kind of suits the story too. I think it works for her. I'm gonna give it a 10. I don't know if we'll see another 10 in this world, so I think this is like as good as we're gonna get, so I'm gonna give it out. And in fact, it does kind of inspire me, because even the few things that I don't like, I feel like I can just change a color or two and the whole thing will just kind of like come together in my aesthetic. Next up is Roomy Roost. I won't go too much into explaining the outside because I think it's very typical. If you've seen like my first episode, then this should be no surprise to you. I do like how they use the black roof, and like this brown fencing is kind of nice too. Like they've been using a lot of white, which has been very stark and contrasty, which isn't great for every single house, and they already have this fence around which kind of does that. They actually have a fire pit, which I really like. The landscaping, again, completely exquisite. I think it's really well done. I'm impressed because I was thinking in a more like Arctic-y tundra world, they were just gonna like lazy out and make snowbanks or something. So overall, I'm pretty impressed with that. And I just want to mention that these people have the last name Beaker. They don't seem to have any relation to the Beakers from Strangetown, but they might, because they're also scientists. But it says in their bio that they're friendly scientists for a friendly society. So they're gonna hate 2022 in the real world. Okay, let's jump inside. Okay, so the layout is very like basic and functional. Like they have everything in like nice little squares, which is nice, but I do like when there's a little bit of organicness to it. And by organic, I don't mean like the lamp being slightly off center. That's actually really bothering me. I mean, like people don't like box out their furniture like this. It's kind of impractical and kind of like a little bit sterile looking, if you know what I mean. Speaking of sterile, the dining room, of course, has no table in it. Oh my God. This kitchen is actually very big. This may be the biggest kitchen that we've seen, and not even this kitchen has a kitchen sink. So I have no idea what they're thinking with that. At least they have a shower. Okay, let's go upstairs. You know what? Pretty good for a family house. Like the stairs lead right up into the middle. You can go to like wherever bedroom it is, and there's like the bathrooms are up here. This house actually has only showers. Once again, we only have bathtubs or only have showers, and this house decided on showers, I guess. Oh my God, I just noticed it's Loki Beaker and Aaron Beaker, so they are from Strangetown. That's so funny. So Loki Beaker is like Nervous Subject's like adoptive father who tortures him, and Aaron Beaker lives with the singles, right? She lives with the alien girls and whatever, so that's kind of interesting. Okay, I'm glad I got my skin tingling. I got some Strangetown sims, so I'm happy now. Ooh, I kind of like this lookout area. It's like you can look over down into the first floor, but it's in like a nice communal space, so that's kind of interesting. I don't hate things like that, because if I lived in a big house, I'd want to like lean over and like yell over to people, you know, in a friendly way. Okay, I got my Sims 2 lore. I got a decent house. I got some nice colors. It's a little bit classically styled for like my taste, but again, this is kind of in the countryside-ish. It's got that farm aesthetic, so like if you have pets installed or whatever, you could easily like build a barn in the back. Actually, a lot of these houses already look like barns. But anyway, I'm rambling on. It's not a 10 just because it has the Beakers in it, and in fact, the Beakers are not my favorite family from Strangetown, but I do like seeing them around. And I like that they stuck with the science thing too. I don't know. I'm gonna give this house an 8. This is a strong world so far. I was not expecting this. I was expecting to give out a few 2s and maybe a 0 at this point, so well done on surprising me. Next up is Steadfast. Yikes! This is a yikes moment. My goodness, this is like very bright and white. This orange roof is not for me. Now the windowing, it does have that symmetry that I know and love, but this looks way too big. This is definitely bigger than some of the other houses that we've seen. And I do want to draw attention again to the Sims. So Iris and Jakob, so they had their child Jonas, and guess what? He's not smart enough for them, so they have to have another kid in order to have someone a little bit brighter, apparently. He's clumsy, good, and excitable, so he's probably got like ADHD or something and nobody understands him. This is awful, but I mean, I do like the storyline. But yeah, it's got that Aurora Skies style, and I'm not sure if this house is doing the trick for me, so I guess it's gonna come down to the inside. So let's see what happens. You know what? I was expecting a lot worse, but I mean, it isn't great. So the pale color of the wood is not really good for the whole house, I don't think. I think it works better when they use like a more orangey color or they use like a darker brown. Now, I'm not sure why they put 4 different color of ugly coffee tables down here. I guess they wanted me to decide on which one was the worst. It's this one because it's more pooish. But don't worry, we have even more greens to disgust us as we move through the house. My good, why green? Like, why does it have to be green all the time? You know what I mean? Like when EA is like, we have to pick a color for like 12 different things in one room. What should we choose? Green. They never think of white or brown or black ever, right? Okay, this dining room. Now, I know it has a bar, which I've been praying for in a dining room, but look how big this dining room is. Like, this house is so unnecessarily chunky, right? That's kind of my biggest problem with it. Okay, going upstairs, we have another living room, I guess. That's like our 3rd living room. There's 2 dining rooms as well. See, this is already too big. This poor kid is probably gonna be like made to study into like some person he's not gonna be. Oh my God, a chess table, of course. Okay, so I know I like white bathrooms. Oh, actually, I like the backsplash. I didn't notice this. So this is very pretty. But this bathroom, once again, there's nothing really else in it. It's just a toilet, a sink, and a bathtub. And it's as big as a starter house. I think these kids' rooms are the 2 ugliest kids' rooms I've seen so far in Aurora Skies. That's not necessarily great. This one, like, I know orange and green is a thing in the 70s, but it's certainly not a thing for me. This bathroom's kind of pretty though. Once again, really well done with the tiles. I like, why are they doing beautiful bathrooms in the ugliest house? It's bothering me. Oh my God, remember when I said the bathrooms were too big? This bathroom is indeed too big. Let's count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 9. 6 times 9. Wow, that's crazy. Does it really take over 50 tiles for a bathroom for you to include a shower? Ew, I don't like how they tiled this either. This is like a little bit bizarre. My God, look at this master bedroom. It's even bigger. Like, it's got double like curtain. Oh my God, it's grand, it's elaborate, but it's empty. It looks like they spent all their money on the house and then they didn't have enough money to like put anything in it, you know, which is kind of counterproductive. I think hands down, even though the story is pretty good, this is like probably the worst house that we've seen so far in Aurora Skies. It's kind of big, empty, and in the EA style that we all love. And I don't know, those bedrooms are ugly too. I'm gonna give it a 3. If we're grading against what we've seen already in Aurora Skies, this is by far the worst. This is a monstrosity. Just like bulldoze it and start over. Next up is the Green Cottage. This was a bitch to find because it's not even green. Like, it's a big red house in the middle of Aurora Skies, so it just kind of blends in. Now, that being said, I think the shape is much more dynamic. They're supposed to be an eco-friendly couple. Like, he's a vegetarian. Neither are eco, like life. Oh, right, that's a trait from Ambitions. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, never mind about that. But they do have the bikes, which is a nice little detail. They have the car as well, which I mean, they do have a child. So like, I don't fault people for driving, especially if they have children, because a lot of societies are built like you have to have a car, but they're obviously trying to live in a way where they can kind of like reduce their carbon footprint. They're trying to take the bike more often, maybe do some walking and whatever. So I like the idea of them making small changes instead of being these like obsessed vegan couple. I actually like the shell a lot better than most of the other shells. Okay, let's jump inside. Now this is a brown that you can use throughout a house. I love this brown floor. I think it works really well for every room. It blends in seamlessly. I think the beige walls are absolutely stunning as well. This red coppery color is kind of nice too. I like it in like the fireplace lounge room. Okay, so we have like a lounge room, a TV room, a workout room, a library. There's a lot going on. See, this house is like half the size, if not smaller than the other house, and we already have more stuff to do here. Oh my God, another living room, like a music room. Look at this. There's like 4 sets of couch seating areas. Maybe that's a little bit overkill. I guess we'll have to see. Oh, thank God, a kitchen sink. It's hiding there, but I saw it. Well done. And lots of counter clutter. Well done, EA. Hey, look, they left me flower pots because I kept screaming. Wasn't that nice of them? Oh, thank God, a shower tub combo. I don't know why more builds don't just use that. Like, that's just like my go-to in a build. I know they're a little expensive, but like I always try to save up for my Sims. Oh my God, 6 couching areas at this point. That ugly bookshelf again. You don't have to put it more than once in the house. I do like how they took off this room and just kind of made it an overhang. That's really nice. I like how you can see the front doors like when guests are arriving and stuff. And after all that, the bedrooms are like cramped way back here, and like the ensuite is only like this big, and in that other house, like you had the bathroom as big as this whole house. So I don't really understand like the differences like that, but I really do prefer this style, and it does like really make a good family house. Okay, I'm pleasantly surprised. We're almost at the end, and they still keep showing me like red boxy houses that keeps giving me a little something different. So well done with that. And the brown was way better in this one. Honestly, it's like a lot of these houses, like they may look the same, but to somebody who's picky and bitchy like me, it's always the little things that are gonna either set me off or never win me over. And this one won me over. I'm gonna give it a 9. And I mean, I know it's Iceland, but it's nice to have some diversity in The Sims and lots of silent J's. So like a name like Wanda, I'm just so excited. And last but not least is the home. This is actually pretty good. I like the dormers on the top. I think it adds like a little bit of an extra detail. And when I was looking up houses that are kind of from this part of the world, I did see quite a few dormers, and I was kind of disappointed to not see as many in some of the buildings that we've seen before. And I know it has the ugly orange roof that I don't like, but at least it's paired with more of like a pale blue instead of a white. I think the pale blue looks a lot better. It's almost got like a mid-century modern color palette, even if the shape is not like that at all. And symmetrical windows, gimme. They're just giving me all the symmetrical windows. So let's just all take it in one last time, because I think after Aurora Skies, we may never see this again. Okay, great. Let's see what our last house has in store. Oh, it has another yellow kitchen. So we've seen this bright yellow color twice, and once they tried to use it on a kitchen floor, that didn't work. And now they try to use it as a kitchen wall, that also doesn't work. But you know what? At least they gave us a shot. Now this green bathroom is actually very nice. Love it. I like how most of the things are bright and white. But again, this tub, you have to put this tub against the wall to hide the pipes. I don't like when they expose them like that. I don't mind a central tub. I just think it needs like to be a different kind of bathtub. You know what I mean? See, this bathtub would be fine for that, but this one they actually stuck against the wall, so it's fine. I like how they use the potty in the actual bathroom. They don't stick it in the toddler room. And in fact, I like how the toddler room is kind of small. Like it's like, this is like a typical smallest bedroom for a child kind of thing. And it's going to be a little bit cramped when they grow up. So it kind of adds like an extra little challenge or twist to it. Even this master bedroom is a little bit small. For this bathroom, I really like the orange. I like how they keep the plumbing white, but they use this like orange and they use this blue to try and like, you know, just add a little bit of a splash of color and style to the bathroom. I think the best way to add color to a bathroom is just paint the wall. I think I painted a bathroom this color once when I was like 20 years old or whatever. Oh my God, it was in this loft apartment I had. I missed that. Oh my God, there's a third floor. Okay, I thought maybe the master bedroom is up here, but they just have more of like a family activity room, which is fine. They have foosball, which I love. I like the home office actually. It's very cute. I like this wallpaper. I think this wallpaper might have come with Aurora Skies because I've been seeing it used quite a bit. I don't know how I like it with the yellow, but I do like the texture and the pattern, and I think you can do a lot with it. Actually, a lot of these wallpapers I don't really recognize, but they might be like just swatches kind of locked away in creative style. Oh, thank God the dormers are fake. I was gonna say, if this has 4 floors, that's gonna be really unnecessary. I mean, coming out to the end, I don't think this is a bad place to end off. It's certainly not as strong as our start to this series, but at the end of the day, I really like this house because it was giving us a few different things than some of the similar styled houses that we've already seen. I really like the dormers. I like their use of colors and patterns. Perhaps it was a little too bright and a little too busy at times, but like I've said before, I really like when they just go for it. And yeah, like it may not be an A, but I think I can give it a solid B+. So let's put it at 7.5. I'm kind of sad. I didn't want this world to end, and it has like fewer houses than some of the other worlds. So it kind of feels a little premature, but that's it. That's all we got. So I guess well done, EA. Well, that does it for Aurora Skies. What did you guys think? I was kind of blown away. Like the scores don't look exuberant, but I was really expecting this to be a lot worse. We've had some very, very terrible choices made by EA in the past, and I just thought like a colorful snowy landscape is not something the average EA developer is going to be familiar with, but they did a really good job. I like the different shades of red. I like the architectural style. I like the heavy presence of family gameplay and broken family storylines. Not everything is cookie cutter. You kind of want to know everyone's backstory and kind of want to know what they're going to do in the future. So that was a really strong point of this world too. But yeah, that's about it for Aurora Skies. So make sure you head down to my community tab so that way you can vote on which world we want to do next. There's only a few left, so I'm really hoping we get to Lunar Lakes eventually. My goodness. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give this video a like and don't forget to subscribe for some more Sims content. I'm actually a little relieved too because I've been playing in this world for a little while and I've been trying to avoid the houses and trying to avoid spoilers and stuff. So now I can finally start to marry the rich guys, move into their mansions, and then take all their money. Thanks again. This is so much fun. I really hope you enjoyed this one because it was actually kind of like really, really nice. Thanks again. I really hope you enjoyed this one. I know I sure did. Thanks. Boom.